Documenting family history isn't just about finding genealogical records. Family history is all around us, in our home and in the homes of our relatives. And that all needs to be documented too. But when you start kind of inventorying what you have, scrapbooks, photo albums, heirlooms, just inherited items, it turns out this is not necessarily just a small job. Now, you could just take pictures of things with your phone, but you could end up with shadows and glare. So today I'm going to show you a new tool that I am using to document keepsakes and even digitize my photo albums. And it makes the job easier and it gives me better results faster. I'm Louise Cooke, and thank you so much for joining me here at the Genealogy Gems YouTube channel. Today we are talking about the Shotbox. It's a handy little portable photography studio that is really changing the preservation game. In fact, it's actually gotten me excited about accomplishing a goal that I have wanted to accomplish for a long time, which is quality documentation of all the family items that I have that are meaningful to me and that I hope will be meaningful to future generations. Now, of course, I'm going to be showing you how to use the Shotbox for family history, but there are a lot of other reasons that you might want to use it. And I love that about this. It's a very multi-purpose item. Now, maybe you want to sell something online. It's a perfect way to photograph the items that you're putting up for sale. People use it for eBay and Etsy and those kind of places. Also, if you want to document stuff for insurance purposes, again, another great use. And of course, one of my favorite uses is capturing the amazing artwork of my grandkids. So if you've got things covering up your refrigerator, your kids, your grandkids' artwork, the Shotbox is a terrific way to really fast and easy capture a terrific image so that you will have it forever. Now, when I order something online and I can't put my hands on it in person, I like to know what I'm getting. And so I've created this unboxing video for you. And I'm going to show you everything that comes in the bundle and how easy it is to set it up. And oh my gosh, it's really, really easy. Now, to get a really nice photograph that looks professional, of course, you need a backdrop. That's what professional photographers use. And the Shotbox comes with 4 different backdrops. I'm going to show you how I use the white backdrop, but they also come with black and blue and green, which means it's almost like a little mini green screen. So let me show you how to install the backdrop. So this is the backdrop. And what we're going to do is we're going to hang it right up there. So here's the right side. It's kind of smooth. And we're going to unroll it. But I'm going to try to be careful. I don't want to get it all wrinkled. And there's the Shotbox tag. And as you can see, there's a hole here and a hole here, which is going to go right over those little hooks. So we're going to hang on to the tag. We're going to try to keep our hands off this backdrop. And it just, wow, hangs right there. Did I get it on there right? There we go. And there's a pole in the bottom edge. So as I kind of push it back, notice that there is a ridge right here. And that just lets me know it'll just kind of stop it right there. So it stays in place. And isn't that lovely? Look at that. Just like a photography studio for your heirlooms. So this is the side shot. And we're going to turn this till it loosens. And what you're trying to do is be able to move this. So this is what controls it. And it's going to go in the front. This allows our camera to be filming from the front. So we're going to take this little notch and just slide it right into the top square. Okay. And then we can position this however we need to. And when we're ready, we've got it right where we want it. We're going to tighten it so it doesn't move. And then there is this cord. And this is the USB with a little plug on the end. The USB goes right on top. And this kind of tethers it to the box, but it also makes sure that we get light. So we're going to come over here. There's a little jack. It's even marked that it's a jack for the needle tip. And the beauty of that is, put those little handles out, when we turn it on, we're actually getting light from behind the Sideshot. But we're not done yet because the phone is going to go on it. So if I get to my camera, there's the hole. So if my camera is here, I'm going to have to turn it upside down. And then now you can see why. Don't let go of the phone. Make sure that you've got it tilted so it's stable. And then we're going to, there's the hole. So the camera's lined up with the hole behind the Sideshot. Tighten that up, make it sure it's good. And we can also move these if you were using an iPad. Right? So we're going to be careful not to bump that, and then we can just start taking pictures. So let's get started with my first object, which is this adorable little brownie camera. This was something that belonged to my grandmother, and I want to capture it in a photo with Shotbox. All right, so I'm going to do this really cool old brownie camera. I like to set it at a little bit of an angle, just so I can see the working on the side as well as on the front. Let's get some light. Lovely. Okay, so filming from the top wouldn't do us any good. We've only began the top of it, so we need the side shot. We just take that lip and stick it inside the square on the top. And it just lays right down. And that little lip keeps it secure there. Now I'm going to put my phone up because I want to see if I've even got it in the shot. Here's our view hole, so I got to turn it upside down. Get my camera lined up with it. And you can see I'm only getting the top of it. And that's where I'm going to hang on. And I need to adjust. Just turn that. Let's tighten that up. And not only can we adjust this, but I can actually, let's go ahead and just move the camera around. I don't want to go too far back against the backdrop. So you can see. There we go. Now once again, I'm going to tighten that up so it doesn't move. I like it. We can also play with the lighting. Sometimes going darker actually makes it stand out better, and you can adjust some of this after the fact as well. See, I was in square mode, so I want to make sure I'm in photo. Take a quick pic, maybe turn it up. Hey, you can always delete a picture after you've taken a couple of them. Keep the best one, delete the rest. And I think we've got a great picture. Now, notice if I need a little bit more light, I can take our USB cord, plug it in here. The needle tip is going to go in the back. And now, wow, look at that. What an improvement on the light. Boom. So now I put my object, this is the oil lamp from my grandma, I've got my picture. I'm looking straight through the hole in the side shot, and the side shot has lights projecting to the back. And I can even zoom in a little bit if I want to, just kind of do some auto cropping before I even take a picture. And then when I'm ready, boom, done. All right, next up, let's say you are at one of your relatives' houses. Maybe you're doing a family history interview and they have photographs, they have objects around the house. Well, the beauty of the Shotbox is it's so portable, so you can bring it with you. And here's an example. So let's say there's a framed photograph, and of course the challenge with the photograph is that there's glass. Can you see? Oh, yeah. And glass means glare, but the Shotbox can deal with that. So here's a photograph in a frame with glass. And if I was at my relative's house and interviewing them and they didn't want me to take it, I might be able to just set it in my Shotbox and get a nice photograph of it. Oh, that looks great. So we can play with the light. I could also even zoom. All right, so here's the granddaddy of preservation challenges. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. This is a photo album from, I put on here, 1972 to 1974. Got it from my mom. The cover is like gone and all the sheets are coming apart. But the worst part is it is from the 70s, which means that it's in these magnetic pages. You can see they're turning yellow underneath. The glue is. Some of the pages, I can peel the plastic off and it doesn't hurt the picture. They didn't stick to the picture, but some of them they do. And so there's going to be times when you're going to want to be able to digitize items, and you could put it on a flatbed scanner. But what I noticed when I was doing that, it was taking forever. I mean, if you're doing a high resolution picture, it takes a while to scan. So the beauty of the Shotbox is not only can it cope with this kind of scrapbook page and the plastic and the glare and the glue, but it also does it really fast, much faster than the scanner. And in most cases, you know, part of what's really held me back is that the length of time that it takes to do all the scanning. Well, this is going to be so much faster using the Shotbox and my phone. Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to do a scrapbook, so we don't need this. And by the way, I could have put this over here, over here. You have a ton of flexibility when you're doing the side shot. But right now, I want to do what we all have, which is these old photo albums. Oh my gosh, this is 1972 to 1974 of my family growing up. And you can see it's a mess. It's all turning yellow. I don't dare peel some of this plastic back. But I don't have to because I'm going to use the Sideshot to take pictures. There we go. I think I was, what, 10? Big spaces between my teeth. Christmas, my grandma came to visit. Me and my dad. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to lay it down. I don't have to peel the plastic off. I don't have to do anything. And let's take a look and see how it looks with the phone. So I'm going to start. Now, it's kind of a landscape. So I'm going to actually try turning it. You can turn and try all different angles. I could try this window if it's better. Right? We can do any of these window holes. That's what it's for. It's for flexibility. Now, I can see I've got some glare on there. I'm going to scoot it over to the center. I can experiment with turning light down. But there's also glare shields. Let's take a look at that. So these are the glare shields. It says position indents to meet with exposed screw heads just under each light strip. So let's not blind ourselves. We're going to turn this off. Take one of these out. And what they're talking about, if you can see, there's our light strip. See the kind of a yellow color, the long strip? And just underneath are these little screws. I see 3 of them. Is there 3? Nope, there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Super. So it looks to me like the indents are here. I'm going to try to snap it in. Okay, And now I'm going to turn the light back on. I think we're still going to get light, but we're not necessarily going to get the glare. We're going to have it kind of bouncing the light around. Let me put the other one on and see if that helps too. Again, same thing on the other side. And now turn on. The real test is when we look from above. Look at the difference. When you look at my picture, the glare's gone. Yay! Boom. I have so many more to do, but I didn't have to mess with this at all. I got this, and if I want to tweak it some more, I can just open it in my camera roll, and I could edit right here. So maybe I want to crop it a little bit. And I could even do each individual picture if I wanted to. So I don't have to save just as a page. Now I see a little bit here and maybe a little bit there. So I'm going to play with it and do some of the alterations. I could also just photograph focusing on one photo at a time. It takes a little bit of practice. I think once you get the hang of what works for your particular book, then it goes really fast. And here they are. And I run them through the MyHeritage enhancement and color correction tools. Even better. This is actually from my husband's parents. Look at this. It's a guest book and it's made out of wood, which is, I guess, appropriate. His father worked for a wood products company. I'm going to set it in here. And this is perfect. It just leans up and I get a terrific, terrific image. And then I can take the next page very carefully. This is so old. I might even use my handy dandy spatula to help me turn it and just hold it there while I'm doing my picture. Excellent. And hey, when you get the grandchildren's artwork, if you don't have room for everything, to keep everything, you can take beautiful, beautiful pictures. Boom. Love it. You can switch this around a little bit. I want to do it this way. Take a moment to zoom in to save some cropping. Love the way that turns out. I hope you found this video helpful and that you're inspired to get the rest of your stuff photographed. And who knows, maybe you can actually get rid of some stuff you don't need anymore. You'll have a Shotbox, you can take photographs and get stuff out online and get it sold. However you use it, I hope that you enjoy it and that you take advantage of the discount codes that we have in the video description below and on our show notes page. And if you would like to learn about more tech tools, strategies, ways to find family history, climb your family tree, that's what we're devoted to, is bringing you the best genealogy gems available. So click the subscribe button. I want you here at the Genealogy Gems YouTube channel, and that will put us in your favorites list so that you'll find our next video. And while you wait for that, we have hundreds of videos on all different kinds of topics. So whatever it is you want to accomplish today, tomorrow, next week, go check out our videos. We've got lots of topics for you. Thank you so much for watching, my friend. I will talk to you soon.